Hello and welcome, it's Kosh here at Granite City RC, and today I'm going to show you the benefits of hoarding. Well, that's not the only thing. But yeah, I found a nice bit of metal sitting around. This is actually an old TV stand top from one of the old CRT screens, so I've had this kicking about for probably the best part of the past 15-20 years, either in use or actually just sitting about in a spare room. But as you can see, I've already cut a bit out, and that's what I used for the new hitch, for the new bucket, which is sitting behind me somewhere, to get 2mm thick pieces. So if you've watched any of my construction videos, you've probably seen me using the ripper claw. But I think what I might do is actually make myself a new claw. Instead of having just one claw to it, I'm going to give it two. So what I'm going to do is basically create the hitch and sides as one piece, and then have a bridging section in the middle. I don't know if it's going to be more efficient that way or whatever, but that's going to give me at least double the amount of clawing space, I guess, for ripping out material. I mean, I could always maybe add a third section in the middle as well, but that's probably going far too far. So yeah, I'm going to try and get that sorted, and we'll use that nice slab of metal which is sitting there. It's probably the easiest thing to do would be to template it out. Let's get some of this cut up. The other benefit of hoarding things, obviously, useful stuff like cardboard sitting around. So this video is probably not going to be as in-depth as obviously the bucket one was, because I was trying to teach myself what I'm doing as I'm doing it, but I have a bit more of an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. And this should be a bit more straightforward, so yeah, shouldn't take as long for me to do this now. So I guess all I really need to do is template things out, get it cut up, get it welded, and this time I'm going to use welding because I borrowed my dad's welder, like I borrowed that camera. I borrowed that 3 years ago, so one of those short-term borrowed things. So anyway, let's just throw our shape around there, and what we'll do, this being cardboard, this should bend, and try and get it reach the same point down there. I mean, I could just freehand something. I could maybe curl it out a little bit more to give us a bigger angle, actually. So, actually, yeah, I might do that. Where's things? What sort of curve are you again? That curve actually fits in quite nicely. This is just an old ball which I've got sitting around holding some nuts and bolts. I can't remember what that one's from. I probably should figure that out at some point in time. Put them on the side at the moment. So yeah, how big do we need that to be? So roughly about there. Push that out a little bit. Give myself a curve. That can literally just meet that bit and come down. And I guess what I could do is curve that from there as well. Come down to a point like that. So there we go. That'll do as a template. It's maybe a little bit wider than this one, but you know what? That is fine. I'm happy enough with that. So yep, I always do this. I leave things downstairs like the scissors, which I'll need to cut this out, so I'll just go get these scissors and we'll get that cut out and start looking to template things. Okay, I probably could template out this size as well actually on there, so there's something to reference against. Yeah, I think that's close enough, and I'll just join the dots. That looks pretty square. It looks roughly enough to size, so yeah, like I said, I'm not really worried about overly accurate or pretty. Just down and dirty, that'll do my normal sort of style. I don't think we need any sort of extra jagged bits on here, but I mean, if I wanted to, I could obviously serrate that edge a little bit. Something like that. No, it's just going to be difficult to cut out probably in shape, so yeah, I'll just go with the straight curve to it. Spacer, just so I don't throw that away. These can be thrown away. It can be put back in the junk pile over there. That can be thrown away. Right. Okay, so yep, that's the main claw template set up. What I'll maybe do is put a marking guide on there so I know roughly where the bit's going to sit. Somewhere about there. And then obviously we'll have two of these. A spacer which is a little bit oversized, but that doesn't matter, that can be filed back. And that is at least the size of that. Probably trim that down a little bit, to be honest. But if we get in the rough shape, that will do fine. So two of these, one spacer, let's put little arrows so I know that's front and back. So yeah, let's get this put onto a scrap bit of metal. Just wondering what we can do there. So if we fit two in on this weird awkward section. That's some shapes which I'm cutting out. Like I said, this is painted, so I'm going to have to sand off the paint on there, or yeah, probably just sand it off or whatever, instead of using any sort of strippers, because sanding's easier. It is quite dark outside, so I don't know if I can capture it. I'll probably just do this off screen anyway, because it's just someone with a jigsaw cutting something. It should be reasonably strong. I mean, I don't know if it's... Yeah, that's not going to bend, so that's fine. I mean, the good thing is this, I do have a large space switch I'm going to use for a different project maybe later, because I do have a couple more ideas of building things. But anyway, I'll see if I can get this cut out. So I'm just wondering if I need supports at the side. I don't think I will, because I think what I might do is just weld it each side where that meets the middle. So yeah, that's going to be strong enough, I think. Okay, I have my little cross piece cut out there. I got those cut out roughly as close as I could get them. No time for sanding tonight, I think, because I could feel disapproving neighbours just, you know, question what am I doing at this time of night. It's not late, it's only like 7:30 or something. So I'll finish these up in the morning, and so I might just again clamp them together and then sand out that top one, and that'll give me a copy of both sides then. Then all I need to do is put in some holes, strip the paint and weld. Okay, right, I've made some pieces, got them all sanded down to pretty much where I wanted them. It's my spacer. All I need to do now is sand things. And I'm pretty sure I annoyed all my neighbours doing this, because I spent an hour kind of grinding, sanding, shaping, cutting, and probably partially deafened myself as well. Okay, I think that's basically the paint off, but I'm going to go wash these quickly, I think, and just get all this residual dust off so I can make sure it is actually all clean. I guess I might sweep this down as well at some point, because that dust has gone everywhere. Okay, these are all cleaned up. I'm going to get a couple of holes drilled in. Okay, so I know what's going to be front and back sort of area. So it's just sitting there, something like that. Check this spacing. Quite wide. Just going to check on the machine. Okay, so it looks like I actually made this bit too big. I'm going to have to try and take a couple of mil off there. So yeah, I'll just go trim that down a little bit. So we've got that edge cut down a little bit, just need a quick little sand. And that's pretty much spot on. Yes, excellent. Right. Okay, so I think the only thing left to do now is have a bit of a weld. I can't see how much space we need there. Yeah, that's going to be more than adequate. That's at least a gap more than what the hitch needs. So yeah, let's go try and weld this. Actually done a thing. I think that's going to work. Well, it's not pretty, but yeah, it's done. I did kind of play about with it outside before putting it on and break the weld, so obviously I'm not that good at welding yet. As you can see, that's kind of re-welded again. I quickly cleaned it up with the angle grinder. But yeah, not pretty, but that's gonna do the job really. So I'll try and get these tested at some point. It's, I think, actually almost warm enough to go outside with them, but I think it's just a way to rain, typically. So I'll try and get these tested at some point, along with the weight on the front loader, which I still haven't tested because it's been frozen out. And then we'll show you the results of that as well. But anyway, that's that's it done, and it fits pretty well, as there really isn't much room for manoeuvre on it. I'll show you that. Fits like a glove. So I don't know how good I'm going to be at changing it off the actual hitch. I'll maybe file down the sides a little bit, just because it does have a little bit of an angle to it. Probably can't see. But you know what? For a homemade claw or double ripper, that's good enough for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye now.